afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to the fourth grade presentation of Attack on Pearl Harbor. We would like to take a moment to recognize a few people who helped make this play a success. Mr. Pierce for building the airplanes, Mrs. Collins for helping all of us create and paint the scenery during our art classes over the past few weeks. Ms. Roscoe for helping us with not just our songs, but with sound, video, and lighting. And high school students Matt Cameron and Kaylee House volunteering their time to help us with the lighting and music. If there are any veterans in the audience today, could you please stand or raise your hand? We would like to thank you for your service. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On December 7, 1941, Japan launched a surprise air raid on a U.S. Navy base in Hawaii. On the 75th anniversary, we celebrate some of the men and women who bravely served the country on one of the most tragic days in American history.
It is December 1941. World War II has been raging for 2 years. The German army, led by Adolf Hitler, has taken over much of Europe.
The United States has been supporting Great Britain and its allies with weapons, but many Americans don't want U.S. soldiers to be sent to fight a war overseas.
Meanwhile, in Asia, Japan is trying to expand its empire by force. The Japanese had launched a full-scale attack on China in 1937.
That led the U.S. to cut off sales of iron, steel, and oil to Japan. The Japanese need those resources for their army and navy. To get them, they plan to invade other nations in Asia.
But Japan's leaders decide that they must first weaken the United States. They begin planning a surprise attack on an American naval base on the Hawaiian island of Oahu. The base is Pearl Harbor. For many Navy sailors, being stationed on the tropical island is almost like being on vacation. But the sailors and soldiers at Pearl Harbor spend a lot of time training for a war that many of them hope to never fight.
That hope disappears on the morning of Sunday, December 7th.
Longhorn, look, there's a huge blip on the radar screen that shows at least 50 planes.
You're probably just seeing things. Working overnight will do that to you.
No, look.
Is there something wrong with the radar?
No, it's working fine. We need to report this.
Elliot makes a call to his commanding officer.
Sir, our radar screen shows at least 50 planes headed our way.
Well, what's he say?
He said not to worry. It's probably that group of planes we're expecting from California.
But the blip is the first wave of Japanese planes on a mission to destroy America's power in the Pacific. Their main target is the Royal battleship stopped in Pearl Harbor.
At 7:55 a.m., Chief Carpenter John Austin eats breakfast with Junior Officer Olaf Mortensen aboard the battleship Oklahoma. A siren wails.
Not another drill, it's too early in the morning. Air raid on Pearl Harbor, this is not a drill.
The troops at Pearl Harbor are caught off guard. Even as the bombs begin to fall, many sailors think they're hearing U.S. planes taking target practice.
West Virginia, Dory Miller is doing laundry.
This isn't fair. I'm a great fighter in the boxing ring, but they won't let me fight for my country. Instead, I'm stuck here doing other people's laundry.
Like all African Americans, Miller is not allowed to serve in combat. Instead, his job on the ship is to cook and clean.
Suddenly, the ship is rocked by a huge blast. Japanese planes hit the West Virginia with torpedoes and bombs.
Miller races to the deck of the ship where Captain Mervyn Benyon shouts orders.
It's a sneak attack. Get some ammo for those guns.
Boom! A nearby battleship is hit by a torpedo and burst into a ball of flames.
They've sank the Arizona.
There's another plane. Take cover. We could be next.
Boom! A bomb explodes on the Tennessee. Pieces of the ship fly through the air.
I'm hit.
Captain Benyon drops to the floor.
Miller tries to move the captain to safety, but he refuses to budge.
Captain, I've got to get you to a medic. I'm not going. Someone's got to stay here and shoot down those planes.
Miller races to a heavy machine gun.
He's never been trained to use the gun, but he begins to fire away at the Japanese planes that zoom by the ship.
I think I hit one. Captain, did you see that? Captain!
Captain Benyon is dead.
Suddenly, a command comes over the loudspeaker.
Abandon ship.
Miller escapes, but many sailors on the West Virginia aren't as lucky. More than 100 crew members lost their lives.
But the losses on the nearby Arizona are the worst of any ship. A total of 1,177 men die aboard the sinking battleship.
Back on the Oklahoma, Austin Morrison and other crew members are thrown to the floor by a giant plane.
We're under attack. Look, water is pouring in everywhere. Man your battle station.
Within minutes, the ship flips over. Austin, Mortensen, and 14 other sailors are trapped in a room below deck. It's quickly filling up with water.
The water is up to my chest already. We're running out of air.
The lights go out suddenly. The sailors can no longer see each other in the pitch black.
We're going to drown like rats down here. There's got to be a way out of here.
Austin dives underwater. Mortensen and the others wait nervously for him to return.
Austin swims back to the surface and gasps for air.
I found a porthole. Is it big enough for us to squeeze through? I think I'll be able to push you out.
Austin leads each sailor underwater. One by one, he squeezes them through.
Austin and Morrison are the only sailors left. The water has almost reached the ceiling. They struggle to keep their heads above the rising water.
Austin, you're a hero. Okay, Morty, you're the only one left. Wait a minute. Who's gonna push you out? I'm too big to fit through that hole, and you know it. I'm not going to leave you behind. You don't have a choice. We're running out of time. Austin!
Once I get you out of here, you better swim for your life.
They dive underwater. Austin pushes Mortensen through the porthole.
Alone in the darkness, Austin knows he will go down with the ship. He is one of the 429 men who die aboard the Oklahoma. But thanks to his bravery, 15 other sailors escape.
Like, how much we ya? Tar. Datka.
The attack ends after about 2 hours. When it's over, 21 U.S. ships have been sunk or badly damaged. The Japanese have also destroyed 188 U.S. planes at nearby airfields.
The hospital at Hickam Field overflows with wounded sailors.
Chief Nurse Annie Fox comforts a badly injured sailor.
My leg, I can't feel my leg. Don't worry, we'll help you.
Fox gently lifts his leg and examines the wound.
Another nurse turns away.
How bad is it?
I think I will be sick.
These men need you to stay calm and do your job. Can you do that?
Yes.
Now take this bandage and apply pressure to that wound. We need to stop the bleeding.
What if it doesn't work?
Just smile and act like everything is okay. If we give up hope, these men will too.
The nurses work through the day and night trying to save as many men as possible.
In all, 2,403 Americans died in the attack, but many others are saved because of the efforts of Fox and her nurses.
The next day, President Franklin D. Roosevelt addresses the nation on the radio.
Like millions of other Americans, Lockhart and Elliott tuned in to listen to the historic radio broadcast.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy. The United States was attacked.
I can't stop thinking about our buddies who had died. It's over now. No, actually, it's just getting started.
Elliot turns up the radio.
I asked what the Congress declare a state of war between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
The United States has officially entered World War II against Japan. 3 days later, it declares war on Germany and its allies in Europe. Many Americans are inspired by the heroes of Pearl Harbor. Men across the U.S. stand up in long lines to sign up for the Army, Navy, and Marines.
Over the next few years, American troops are involved in heavy fighting in Europe and North Africa and on islands in the Pacific. More than 400,000 U.S. troops lose their lives.
Germany surrenders on May 7, 1945. The war in Europe is over.
But the war with Japan continues. In August 1945, the U.S. drops atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
More than 200,000 people are killed. As a result, Japan surrenders on September 2nd, 1945. World War II finally ends.
This year marks the 75th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. We should honor those who lost their lives and celebrate the courage of the heroes who stepped up that day.
Al Rodriguez, age 96, grew up in Hawaii on December 7, 1941. He was a 21-year-old U.S. Navy sailor on duty at Pearl Harbor. Today, in an interview, he looks back on the day that changed his life forever. What were you doing during the attack?
I have a 4-hand day. Our duty was to ensure all areas, anything around our barracks. I was about to sit down for my breakfast in the mess hall when the siren sounded. We all ran out to the armory.
And they issued guns too. They issued us guns. What did you do during the attack?
I was terrified. You don't have much time to think. You were doing whatever it took to stay alive. I was shooting at Japanese planes that were flying so low, you could see the pilots' faces. Later, they sent me to a supply building to issue supplies to anyone and everyone.
Is it difficult for you to look back on the attack of Pearl Harbor 75 years later?
No one really knew what had gone on in my days at war. I didn't really want to talk about it until my oldest son, Alfred, suggested that I should volunteer at the Arizona Memorial to share my experience with the people. That was about 15 years ago to this day. I jumped out of my skin and suddenly be awoken because of my emotional ties to the loud bombs of the war.
Rube Weatherwax is 99, is also from Hawaii. He at age 24 was stationed at the U.S. Army base about 10 miles from the naval base of Pearl Harbor.
What do you remember about the morning of December 7, 1941?
I heard a loud explosion in the direction of Pearl Harbor. I turned the radio on immediately to find out what the explosion was. It was announced, all military personnel report to your station immediately. I got a ride to the base, but I was shocked to see a big ship with flames coming out of the top on the bay. Later I learned this was the Arizona. The sky, a lot was on fire, and the sky was black smoke.
What did you do during the attack?
I was sent to the opposite side of the island to prepare for attack by land. However, there was never an attack by land.
What was your role in World War II?
I was sent to England, France, Belgium, and finally to England as a soldier.
What do you think it is important? Why do you think it is important to continue to tell the story of attack on Pearl Harbor?
I volunteer at the Arizona Memorial Visitor Center 4 times a week to help and educate visitors. I think for the safety of our country, we should never forget the attack on Pearl Harbor and should always be prepared for disasters. Thank you. You're welcome. Lisa will now perform a solo of Your Grand Old Flag. The USS Arizona Memorial at Pearl Harbor in Honolulu, Hawaii marks the resting place of 1,102 of the 1,177 sailors and Marines killed on the USS Arizona. It lies about 40 feet deep in the water. The memorial was built in 1962 of their ship.
It is visited by more than 2 million people annually. The battleship's sunken remains were declared a National Historic Landmark on May 5, 1989.
Thank you all for coming to watch our presentation of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Please join me in singing the Star Spangled Banner.